The death of the ball turret gunner. This is another one of those cases of an example where the words should not make sense, and yet they just gloriously do. They so wonderfully come across. You get the sense of what it's meaning, even if you don't quite understand the phrase. From my mother's sleep I fell into the state, and I hunched in its belly till my wet fur froze. What on earth? How bizarre. What on earth could that possibly mean? And yet, in this case, what you get a case of it makes total sense based on the context. The fact that the title tells you that this is the death of the ball turret gunner, you can sort of get this idea, hunched in its belly. This is the man who would be in the gun. This is a World War II era poem. As you can see, it's written in 1945. But you can get this image of the man in the sort of guns that they would have on the underside of planes shooting at things. You can see him hunching in the belly until he's sort of very cold and in a very sort of thing. And he's not speaking literally, of course, but there's this very animalistic sense to it. Wet fur. He's uncomfortable. He's cold. He's just an animal. Mother's sleep. People have said from his home country, from the place that he was birthed. So from his country, from the earth, I fell into the state. I became part of the army, and I hunched in the belly of the army as part of this Air Force ball turret gunner. 6 miles from earth, loosed from its dream of life, he's flying in the air. I woke to black flak and the nightmare fighters. And just such a beautiful image. You get this image of him suddenly awakening to gunfire and horror and all number of other things. And the last sentence, when I died, they washed me out of the turret with a hose. That's just such a striking image, a vivid image of this person who's so shot to pieces that they can just wash him out of the turret. It's wonderfully expressive. It doesn't even use a lot of descriptors. Just the fact that they're washing him out using a hose. And there's none of the imaginative language here. There's none of the very eloquent language. It's just, this is reality. This is the stark reality of getting washed out. Death is unavoidable. Death cannot be dressed up with fancy words. This is just the way it is. And it's a very expressive poem.